Hello viewers, welcome to my channel once again. This is Teacher Jaja on preparation for resumption. Well, like I said in my other videos, before you know it, school would be resuming, and I am here to support the teachers, and let's see how we can resume, how we can prepare for resumption better than we used to do before. So if you're just seeing my video, please like, share, follow, subscribe, and click on the notification button so that anytime I drop a video, you will be the first to be notified. And besides, if you're also just seeing this video, it's a series. We have done like 3 other videos or 4. We have done the general introduction to preparation for resumption. We have gone into preparing with my scheme of work, and then preparing with my lesson plans, and then preparing with classroom management. So today we would be onto preparing to deliver effective lessons. That's what we're going to be doing today, preparing to deliver effective lessons. So before I go into what we're going to do today, please remember once again to like, to subscribe, to share, so that other teachers can benefit, and also click on the notification button so that each time I drop a video, you would be the first to be notified. So thank you for being part of this series on preparing teachers for resumption. As I said again, today we'll be looking at preparing to deliver lessons effectively. Now when we're talking about lesson delivery, if you have done everything that we've mentioned before now, and then you get to the class, the lessons are not effective, it means that work done is 0. So that is like the last part of it. That is like the icing on the cake. This is the most important part of what we are doing, having effective lessons in the classroom, because this has to do with basically your interaction with the learner. So what do you do as a teacher to prepare to deliver your lessons effectively? Now, preparation for effective lesson delivery is in 2 phases. Now you have the long term, and you also have what? You also have the short term. Now, when you're talking about the long term, this is what we're doing now. We're doing a long-term preparation. Don't forget that the short term is what you do a day or an hour or 2 hours before you actually go into the classroom. But what we're doing now is the long-term preparation for effective lesson delivery. This is part of what you need to prepare as a teacher before resumption. So what does it take to prepare for effective lesson delivery before you resume? Now, the first thing you need to look at, what is the timing I have for my lesson? Now, most times teachers would always say, I do not have enough time for my lessons. So my lessons could be 45 minutes, 1 hour, and you see the teacher say, okay, I did not have enough time to deliver the lesson. Now, even if they give you 2 hours, 3 hours, if you don't prepare ahead of time, you will still not be able to use time effectively to your own advantage and to the advantage of your pupils. So what do? The first step is, what is the timing for this lesson? You need to prepare. So if you have, for example, like an hour lesson, you need to be able to break every part of your lesson into minutes to be able to make up the 1 hour. For example, how many minutes will it take me to do the introduction of my lesson? How many minutes will it take me to do the different activities that I have? How many minutes will it take the children to do the evaluation? How many minutes will it take me to conclude my lesson? Now, as an experienced teacher, if I'm given 1 hour to deliver a lesson, I always plan for 45 minutes, so that if anything comes up, it might take me to 50 minutes. So I still have 10 minutes to play with. But sometimes you see the teachers, they feel that you will feel as a teacher, oh, 1 hour is a lot. And then before you know it, the 1 hour is gone. You've not been able to achieve anything. So the first thing you do is, what activities do you have? Please split them into minutes. Which one do you want to take more time? Split it, give it more time, and then you'll be able to meet up. Another thing that is very, very important, you need to have what is called resource box. If it's not a resource box, maybe you can call it resource bag or whatever name you want to give to it. Now this is where you have all your resources. Remember that when we talked about preparing with your scheme of works, we mentioned that you need to look at all the topics to enable you prepare. Now for you to prepare for your lesson, the reason why you need to have a resource box is because you would have checked your scheme of work and you would have noted all the resources you will need to deliver the lesson. Now at this point, this is where it comes handy. So all those things you identified that you will need to deliver your lessons in the class is for you to collect them. That means if it's something I need to buy, or if it's something the school needs to buy, if it's something I need to provide by myself, so please get them ready. If there are videos and all of that, have a collection of them. If you have a system, what do? Put them in a folder, knowing that okay, this is what I'm going to use, and then you label them week 1, week 2, week 3, and all of that. And then if there are hands-on resources, so you do what, you put them in little boxes and then do what, label them properly. Now why are you labeling all these things and putting them in a box? So that you're not confused at the end of the day, no piece is missing and all of that. Now another thing you need to do to prepare for your lesson, to deliver lessons effectively, remember that as a teacher you are to guide learning. You're not to spoon feed the children. So you need to do what? You need to have that at the back of your mind. That is how to prepare. Now if you don't have this at the back of your mind, you just see yourself run into the classroom, you want to teach the children, and then at the end of the day you want to show your expertise and all of that instead of guiding learning with the children. Now another thing you need to do to have effective lessons is consider the type of learners you have in your classroom, so that some learners would not be missing. Now if you are an auditory learner as a teacher, if you do not prepare yourself well, you're going to be you're only going to be an auditory teacher in the classroom. You're not going to pay attention to other types of learners. If you're a kinesthetic learner, that is what you're going to display in the classroom. You're not going to pay attention to other types of learner. That is why as a teacher you need to prepare for effective lesson delivery. Now in this preparation, when you're considering the learners, you know that okay, I am an auditory learner, so everyone would not learn like me, so I have to make conscious effort. Remember I said what? Conscious effort to involve other learners, so to plan activities that will be beneficial to other learners. Now another thing is, in preparation, if you do not prepare, you're going to deviate from your lesson focus. So for you to stay within your lesson focus, you need to do what? Prepare. That means you need to have the focus of your lesson at hand or at heart, so that you don't do what? You don't deviate. Now when you want to be a top-notch professional, there's nothing wrong in putting that lesson focus on the board, so that even your learners can do what? Your learners can share that lesson focus with you. Another thing that is very important, your learners need to know the information you're giving them is important. For example, if you have a topic that you want to teach, why do they need to learn that topic? So even as a teacher, you need to find out why the learners need that information at that age. What is the value? What use would it be to them? Now the reason you're getting all of this tied up is so that your learners would be interested in what you're going to do. Now another thing you need to prepare for you to have effective lesson is how your learners learn. We have talked about the different types of learners in the classroom. Now you're also looking at the age. Would what the activities I have set, is it age appropriate? Would it make my learners have fun while learning? Would they be interested in what I am going to do and all of that? So that's way you have prepared yourself ahead. Now when you're also preparing, also prepare for that learner that is not going to be able is not learning at the standard or at the level of the class. You have the high flyers, you have the average learners, and then you have the ones that are quite behind the class. Now, the reason you need to prepare ahead of time is for these various group of learners. So when you prepare on time, you're able to find a time where you'll be able to carry the other ones along. So I believe that if you practice what we have just discussed now, you would be able to deliver effective lessons. And remember, I said it's in two phases. You have the long term. So I just finished the long term now. So what is the short term? The short term is for you to, before you go into the class, a day before or 2 hours to that time, you should be able to look at the information you have again and then check up with current trends to see, is there something new that should be added, or is the information still valid? Because you know what, changes are constant. So some information would have been updated about that topic, or there would have been one or two changes. So that way you go in handy, strong, confident, and ready to deliver your lesson. So once again, I call it, before I call it a wrap for today, please remember to like, remember to share, remember to follow, and remember to subscribe and click the notification button so that when I drop the next video, you would be the first to do what? To get the notification. So in our next video, we're going to be looking at resumption, what I called resumption drama. I know you're going to be wondering what that is, but in my next video, you'll get to know what resumption drama is. Once again, thank you for being part of this platform. Bye bye.